Where the Force leads, I will follow.
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 Where I lead, they will follow.
Hey, y'all, and welcome back to Tales from the Table Studios. You may see we're a little light on people today, but that's all right. Trust the process.
Trust it.
Always trust it. Very important. So, not much to go over today before we get started. So real quick, Katelynn, hi, how are you? Why don't you let everyone know who you are and all that amazing stuff?
Oh, hi, everybody. I have a voice again. Hello, welcome back. I am Katelynn Kenny. You can find me at KKENNEY. That's K Kenny Plays on the social medias. And I play Nu Tin, our little Jawa mystic Padawan, who last time got knocked out and lost a little voice box communication, and then reappeared at the end of the episode to push Lumira out of the way of some boulders, I think, was where we left off, if I'm not mistaken.
Excellent. It is. And because I'll get yelled at if I don't do it, hey, y'all, it's Drake Lionheart. Everyone calls me Lion. I am the creative director for Tales from the Table Studios. You can find me at It's Drake Lionheart pretty much everywhere online, except on Twitter, where I'm still the Lion Knight 42, but really don't follow me on Twitter. I don't do anything on Twitter anymore. The only time posts come out of there is when I do like posts that just hit everything at once. It's fine, whatever. Go find me on Blue Sky. Go find me on Threads. That's where I'm doing stuff. It's better that way anyway. You can also find me at TTFT Studios on pretty much everywhere, because Tales from the Table Studios is too long for social media. Yeah, so fun stuff. But I think that's pretty much it for right now. It's always weird when it's like super condensed, but we got there. So we're just going to jump right in. We're going to go back just a little bit, actually.
Great.
So, Nu, you become just barely aware of the hard surface that you find yourself laying on. And what really jolts your consciousness back into being are the whispers that you hear surrounding you. They're faint. Just too faint for you to make out just yet. But they seem to dance around you, calling you, guiding you. As your eyes open, you see the blinking fluorescent lighting at the top of the ship. You've seen this before. You've been here before. This is, well, the closest thing to quarters you have here. It's not exactly a ship meant for large crews, but you feel the aches in your body from the less than pleasant experience you had before winding up here. And again, those voices just sort of slip right past you, as though teasing you towards something. What do you do?
I think the first thing Nu would want to do is look around the space and just assess, like, is she alone? Where is her Master Wei, her new Padawan fellow? So I think she'd be trying to take that all in first, and see where everybody is.
Certainly. Glancing around, there don't seem to be any other people in this room with you. You faintly hear footsteps somewhere outside beyond the closed door. But the room is fairly plain and simple. Besides the hard slab that is a bed that you're laying on, there are a couple of boxes stacked in one of the corners. One of them sort of tipped over, and a number of different plush toys have spilled out across the floor. There's a spanner just sort of hanging on a hook on the opposite end of the room. Otherwise, it's fairly barren. Just the familiar empty space.
Yeah, I think hearing the footsteps, Nu would start to kind of get up gingerly from the bed that she's on and start to cautiously pat out there and see what footsteps are out there, because she doesn't know if this is what kind of situation this is. If this is safe ship, dangerous ship. So I think she's still on edge.
Sure. Stepping out of the room and into this sort of long steel hallway, you see pipes. You can hear the familiar hum of the engine from behind you, not too far off in the distance. You hear a number of footsteps ahead of you, calm steps moving to and fro. You assume probably the crew doing their work, but the ones that really stand out to you are the quicker ones. And as you glance in the direction of these, what sound like boot steps against the metal, tapping as they run, you see a flash of blonde disappear around a corner, a little bit of black cloak flowing away as it moves.
I had a vision before I passed out when the ship crashed, and I saw a figure moving very quickly in that vision too. Does that feel similar in this moment?
It does. It does feel similar.
Okay. I think Nu has a kind of flash of that moment in the vision and the flash of this now. And I think she, trying to be as stealthy as she can, starts to try to follow those footsteps.
Absolutely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to roll some dice about this. Nu?
Yeah.
Why don't we make I'm going to call it a 2 difficulty stealth.
Okay.
It'll
2
add-
difficulties stealth. So I don't have any ranks in stealth, but I do have 3 of the green dice. So I'll put 1, 2, 3, and then 2 of the purple die. And all right, rolling.
Let's do it.
Did I roll? No, I clicked the wrong thing. I did not roll. I rolled now. I think that's a success and an advantage.
That is a success and an advantage. Wonderful. I love that. Awesome. Okay. So here's what we're going to say. So you take off sort of slinking down. You know what? You tell me how you're sneaking. You set the scene for me.
Yeah, I think I know this ship fairly well. We've been traveling on it for at least the last several days, if this isn't also the ship we go out on if we take other adventures. So I think she's kind of taking all of the side areas and nooks that she knows in this space. She's a smaller figure, and being a Jawa, I feel like you always scope out the surroundings and know how to creep around a space and find the intricate things without people seeing you. So I think she uses all those pathways and her tiny little feet as she goes through the space and following after and just trying to evade the places she knows where people are probably going to be, the main kind of brig, if you will, and wherever the captain might be holed up.
Yeah, for sure. Every corner that you round, every hallway that you enter, every door that you go through, you see it. That shock of blonde and that wisp of black cloak disappearing around the next corner, always just a bit faster than you. But it is just you and them here, maybe? Like you said, you know the ship very well. It's very easy to avoid the populous places, the busy places. And with every step, the whispers seem to grow a little bit clearer. Not louder exactly, but something in your head has less of a difficulty processing what it is that's being whispered to you. And as you round that last corner and you can see the exit ramp of the ship leading off into the vicious, angry storm outside, you hear it over and over, overlapping itself even. The whispers going, "They need you. Save them. They need you to go now. Now." And off in the storm, halfway between where you stand and what looks like the collapsed pile of rubble, you see a figure standing, hood up, cloak billowing in the heavy winds, flashes of lightning making them clear for just a moment, silhouetted, a feminine figure, and a single lock of blonde that blows out from beyond the hood as they stand back to you.
I think Nu would try to... She's trying to decide in this moment. She's in the safety of the ship. She knows that there's been influence, dark influence around her. And I think right now she's trying to decide, is this her friend talking to her right now? Or is this a darker presence? And so I think she wants to kind of sense that if she can.
I like that. Why don't you roll me a force check about it?
Okay.
Just gonna roll your force dice and we'll see what you come up with.
Okay, I've got 2 force dice, rolling them. No! That's 3 dark side, folks.
Oh, we'd love to see it. So,
Oh.
Nu standing here, only feet away from the storm, you reach out to your friend. And it's difficult at first because usually, at least recently, it is accompanied by that hum, that reassuring hum. But the sound of the engine is drowned out by the angry, fat raindrops that pelt the exterior of the ship constantly, the loud, bellowing screams of thunder that echo, making you feel as though your bones are shaking, the winds that howl and shriek as though in pain. It's tough. It's so hard to find your way through. But it's there, just barely. You reach for it, and it feels as though you are gripped and dragged forward. Not physically, at least not yet. But you can feel yourself, your existence, your perception being dragged forward into the storm, into the rain, quickly soaked and drenched as you stumble through it. You're filled with feelings of confusion and fear and loss, and I would like you to share something with me, Nu. I would like to hear about the time you got the most angry in your life. The most rage you've ever felt, Nu.
Nu isn't a very angry person, so it is really shocking to her when she feels that feeling. And really, there are only 2 or 3 times that she really remarks that, particularly anger towards others. She can get very snippy with herself very quickly. But probably one of the first times she felt that deep, deep anger was in a trade deal that her father was trying to make with someone. and the deal was clearly going awry. And she could feel the person attempting to belittle and manipulate her father, who, like, they're the only family for each other since her mother, yes. And so I think that was the first time she felt that anger, and she used the Force power. She tapped into her friend and used influence for the first time. And she hasn't really used influence since, because she hasn't been moved by that anger of feeling to be made small.
Standing here, out in the storm, soaked, alone, abandoned? Maybe. Forgotten? Possibly. Do you feel small here, Nu?
Yes.
Before you realize it, you're already stepping down the cracked stone steps. Lightning flashing behind you, thunder roaring, bellowing, like great dragons screaming for your head. At least here there's shelter from the rain. You could turn around, you could go back to the ship. Do you want to be the one to go back to the ship?
I will not be a coward.
And as you say that, it echoes off the stone walls, down into the darkness beyond you, and you hear again whispers from ahead of you now. They need you to be strong. They need you to be ready.
I think there's a part of her that kind of activates in this moment. The eyes almost seeming like to flare up a bit, as she's almost getting glimpses of that vision again. She's like using her mind to go back into what that was, what she foresaw, and she hears the rubble, and she feels the collapse. And for the first time in a while, she hasn't really needed to use it. But in her time back home, she developed a pretty decent, like, tracking skill. And I think at this point, she's, like, looking to the ground, looking for these tracks. She will find them.
I love that. And it's easy. It's so easy here. The outside environment does very little to change anything down here. And as you move deeper in, sconces on either side of you flare to life, flame rising as you move past. You hear the footsteps again, now against stone. You see those wisps of black and gold flashing around a corner, running off. This way, echoed over and over again. And you, for a moment, almost feel as though there's someone holding your hand here, offering solace. A promise that though it may feel that way, you are not alone here. Your friend promising that they'll be with you. As you round that last corner, you see it. A few things stand out in your mind. You see the familiar face of your fellow Padwan. You see a series of statues filling the room. And another figure for just a moment. What I'm going to ask is, Odias, would you describe yourself, please? And tell us what Newton sees.
Oh, shit. Odias is very tall. God, I think we said Ronan and Odias are about the same height, so over 6 foot. But where Ronan is a tank, Odias is like Lord of the Rings, elven, thin, and lithe, you know? Has hair, I think that is long, but it is falling out of whatever she has put it up into. Has tattoos on her face, yellow eyes, is wearing Jedi robes, but they are not typical Jedi colors. There's armor to them, carrying a purple lightsaber that is, if I remember correctly, pulled and lit. And if I noticed any movement before what happened, I think there would be a flash of looking at Lumira and Newton and being a little surprised, and then everything goes to shit.
There's just long enough, I think, for Odias's eyes to meet both Lumira's and Nu before the rubble comes falling. Nu, before you know it, you are already taking off, running, throwing yourself into Lumira, pushing her into this archway, saving both of you from a particularly large piece of stone as it falls with a crack. And then everything is dark. For a moment, there is a flash of purple light, and then it sputters out, returning you to the darkness, the three of you. Lumira, for a moment, you sense nothing, you feel nothing, you see nothing but darkness. You can feel your head pulsing and pounding. And then the sound of choking. Jedi, what would the two of you like to do?
Am I? Sorry. Sorry, this is the only voice I can find right now. 1 second. Am I choking you?
Get him off me, you bastard!
Wait, that's not Lumira. I think I'm gonna be looking around in the dark. But Lumira, you're quiet. I think at first I'm gonna just be tapping your face to be like.
That Lumira is very dazed and confused just by the complete the fall of the rocks and all the chaos going on, and then being basically football tackled by Newton out of the way. So it's kind of a catch your breath, probably knocked out of you, getting your bearings. It's super dark. I don't know what's going on. What just happened? I almost died. choking question mark. It doesn't sound like New Tu. So it's very much like looking around and then towards the voice and the lightsaber that just came on. And I think Elsie's gut reaction is to have a character rush in and save someone. Lumira is the opposite and is very more cautious. I just have to like clarify this. I want to do this so bad. I cannot, because that is not this character. And I think that they would grab where they would assume Newton's wrist would be, knowing what they know about Newton in the last few days that they've met, that she's probably going to be the one to lunge forward first. Oh. Did I cut out?
No, you're here.
Great, because everybody else froze. I thought I was gone. And would like try to discourage her from making an initial lunge towards helping before they even know what's going on.
How do you do that?
Oh, just hand on the wrist, just like, and like a slight like tug, not like a jerk or anything, but like a discouraging pull back.
Lion.
Yeah.
Can I do something to help myself?
Certainly you can. What would you like to do?
I've already force choked one dead guy. Let's do it again.
Interesting.
He's gonna choke me? No. We're gonna rip him like no. Force Daddy is no. There's no consent here. We are not happy here.
I'm going to ask you a question, and depending on how you answer that is what will happen next.
No. Oh no.
Do you see a target to force choke?
I didn't see Frieda Nad. Why do I need to see Bane?
Oh.
Interesting.
He was literally the creepy voice talking in my ear over my shoulder. Why do I need to see Bane?
You know what? That's fair. Go for it. Let's see what happens.
Okay. I want to bind. I'm going to use bind.
Let's see.
I spend force dice to immobilize my target. I restrain my enemy. Oh, what do I roll for this? I forgot. You're
gonna roll a force
my
check.
force rating.
Yeah, so you roll your force dice.
Is the white ones, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask, how far in the tree are you?
About halfway down.
Oh, nice.
Excellent. Yeah,
I've been
that'll do
burning
it.
all of my XP on this one thing, y'all.
Love it.
Bind, because I'm a duelist, and if a person I'm fighting suddenly can't move, no head. Okay, so I just roll 2 of these. I have a range of 2. I forget. I just abbreviated it. Range of 2. M is 2. S is 2. D is 2, and I think the C is still 1.
Okay.
I don't have the book open.
No worries.
Don't make me open the book.
No, you're good.
Okay. All right, guys. I'm delaying rolling these dice because I have a feeling.
All light side, baby.
That's the feeling I have, is that you just rolled the dark side, which means I'm gonna roll like a million light side.
That's
and
what
honestly,
I'm waiting for.
Fuck Bane. I'll use it. Yeah. One of each, baby.
Let's go. Okay, so with bind, you have a choice of if you want to use the light or the dark for the base ability. And then you can use the second one for any of the stuff you have. You can if you want them to suffer strain. There's not additional targets unless you want to go after your additional targets.
There's no reason to go after them. I don't really even know where they are.
That's totally valid.
Yeah, I think I'm going to use the dark side as the base, because I'm going to meet Bane where he is, and then because I'm me, I'm going to use the light side to increase the time. I can hold him back. So like we're choking each other now.
Uh-huh.
This is what we're doing.
Okay. I like this. All right. So here's what's going to happen. Two things are going to happen very quick.
Yeah.
The first is I'm going to need you to take 3 strain.
Let's do it. I got a lot of strain.
The second is, I'm going to preface this with I believe in you. I'm going to need you to roll me a vigilance will with a difficulty of 4.
Glad I have a rank in vigilance.
You got those.
Difficulty's a purple dice, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You can also flip a destiny point over to the light side to add a success.
Okay. I'm just making sure I don't have a thing. I don't believe I do. No. Okay. What did you laugh?
Oh, no reason.
Oh, yeah, no, Katelynn, you are correct. Yeah. Let's fucking go. 1 advantage and 1 triumph.
Look at you. So now
get fucked, Force Daddy. Get fucked.
That's pretty good. Okay. So here's what we're going to say happens. I love this. So that triumph is going to do a lot of heavy lifting here.
So much heavy lifting.
So you reach out with the Force, and you are trying to essentially send your will back through what is currently crushing your throat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there is an intense battle of wills taking place here. And what I'm going to need from you, Odias, is for you to share with me a moment in your life where you had to summon all of your will to overcome the impossible. Something where you refused to stop or slow or be stopped or slowed.
I think it's fitting that she got a glimpse of Lumira before all this started. Because what set her on changing her path was the last job she worked where Lumira was involved. And she had clocked that Lumira was force sensitive and was sort of teaching Lumira a little bit to see if they could be partners, like what she and Ronan would become. But the job went bad. Lumira got trapped. And so Odias, or as she called herself then, Kedri, used her lightsaber and carved through quite a few people to get Lumira and the others out. And when she finally arrived, she was beaten, she was bloody, and everyone else was dead. And it took everything she had because she was not done with her martial training yet. This was a test run her mother sent her on. She should not have survived. But she did. And she got everyone out. She got paid. And then she left. She left. She hasn't seen Lumira since.
If we were watching this moment, this memory play out on screen, What is it we would see in that moment between the activation of your lightsaber and the freeing of Lumira? Paint us a picture.
I think you see quite a few mercenaries, at least 24 on a ship that they were supposed to be robbing quietly. Obviously didn't work out that way. Quietly. And she had been using a blaster up until this point, and then realized that everyone else was trapped, and her plan to be the distraction suddenly became extraction. And a bunch of it's a very cinematic thing where a blast door opens, the lightsaber goes on, she's in a in a cloak, but wearing not the Jedi robes that you see her in most often these days. She's wearing just mercenary clothing. She looks like anybody else, but that lightsaber goes on and you see fear in everyone else's eyes, because lightsabers are still a rare skill to have. And to avoid violating TOS, the takedowns are not pretty. They are not kind. There is much screaming. There is much slamming of people into walls. She doesn't catch every blaster shot that comes her way. She doesn't catch every fist thrown. But for every one that hits her, 2 more go down, until there is no one left in these halls between her and the hold where the rest of her crew is.
So again, 2 things are going to happen here very quickly. The first, Odias, is that you hear a hiss as the grip on you releases. And Lumira knew the 2 of you are going to see this memory play out before your eyes. As though you are there, a spectator standing off to the side. And then it grows quiet again, save the bits of rock that continue to tumble lazily down.
Bitch.
You hear that single word echo. What would the group of you like to do?
I think Nu gets very quiet and still, where I imagine she's still kind of on top of Lumira with like wrist grabbed. They're just both in that position. And Nu goes, maybe we just kind of belly crawl out of here. Belly crawl.
Who's there? Who is there?
What was that? It was very quiet.
You were really quiet.
Yeah.
Newton gets me every time with the most innocent of plans. Like, what if we just belly crawl out of here? Belly crawl where? Like, do you know an exit? Because if we do, we should run. This is out of character. But I just love that she automatically assumes there's an exit, and Lumira's like, there's no exit. Two opposites. Gonna stand up. and let go of Nu Tu after a moment. Is your lightsaber still on, Cass?
I think we said it got knocked off, but I think as soon as she heard voices.
Back on. Way.
Okay, bet fucking thanks, because now I can't.
I know.
Turn mine back on. Turn mine on right now. Bam.
Oh.
I don't have mine here. It's not here.
Yeah. And mine's making noise and it's gonna be annoying, so we're gonna just assume it's on now. So yeah, you see you can see Odias.
It is not an defensive nor like overtly defensive, probably subtly defensive, but it's definitely not an aggressive position. It's definitely more of a light source.
Yeah, that's what she's doing too. Is like it's held out where she could use it if she needs to, but it's definitely like it's dark and I don't know who the fuck you are.
Exactly. Same hat.
Oh, well, Princessa, didn't expect to see you here.
I don't know if Lumira has words for you. I think she's a little pissed that you like just dipped after saving her. Yeah, because if I recall correctly, Cass, you're the one who taught me initially how to use a lightsaber, and to dip right in the middle of like just learning how, and then have to figure out the rest of your technique and stuff on your own. She's not too thrilled about that, but also it would take a moment as well to connect the two things, the vision we just kind of were witness to as bystanders, plus your change in appearance. It's going to take a minute to connect the dots, but when she does, she's just like, and I was hoping to never see you again.
Why are you here?
I'd ask you the same question.
Following a lead?
To what?
Don't think we know each other well enough anymore for me to answer that, Lumira. Who's your friend? Hello.
I don't think we know each other well enough for me to answer that question. Shoot Nu Tu a glance, like, don't.
Literally about to say something. Shuts up.
Are you? You're Jawa.
Mumalo.
Which is greetings, hello, in Japanese.
Hello.
Yes.
Sorry, my translator is a bit wonky right now.
Oh, no worries. I know enough. Jawa needs to understand, I think.
You two know each other?
We did a long time ago.
Not you knew, just knew. Like KNEW.
And I think like kind of, yes, it's like stepping a little nearer just to kind of get more of a look, but is still kind of clinging a bit to the shadows and just assessing.
Yeah, and she is Zabrak, very obviously Dathamiri Zabrak, but you're dressed in Jedi you're oh no, Lumira, you went and joined the temple.
I didn't go anywhere and join any temple. I was more like circumstances of events led me to join. Yes and no. I didn't have a choice. I had a choice, but it was dead or choice, so I chose to not die.
That's fair. So this one is temple trained then.
Yes. Temple in training. Temple in training at Temple.
Great. Where are your masters?
That is a great question. I was hoping you might have the answer to that.
Probably wherever Bane separated us.
Bane?
Is that who did this?
I'm sorry, what?
Is that
Hang
who's
on one
responsible for
sec.
this?
Hey, Elsie, you're breaking up pretty bad.
Oh, okay. I'm probably just not close enough. Am I good now?
Yeah. For me, anyway.
Is it okay now?
Yes, yeah, there it is. Yep.
Okay, I wasn't close enough.
Yes.
Is that who did this?
That is exactly who did this.
Great.
Darth
Cool.
Bane, dead for millennia, still being a pain in everyone's ass.
If dead for a millennia, then how a pain in one's ass?
Force ghosts.
Ah.
So, here's something that I think is worth pointing out. Because, Odias, you would know this for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, when it comes to the dark side of the Force, the way Force ghosts work is very different. They have to be bound to something. And what I think you would know, especially from your last engagement a moment ago, is that there is significantly more of what feels like the essence of Bane here than in the Holocron. Because for all the engagements that the two of you have had and all of the times that he has deemed necessary to correct you, it has never been so openly aggressive, or as, for lack of a better term, hands-on, as it was here.
This was his home. And so it is easier for him to get mad at me.
Why would he be mad at you?
Because I'm not doing what he wants.
And what does he want you to do?
Become a good little Sith.
Oh. This is a flare up on the lenses. I think Newton is like immediately shuffling closer to Lumira and like trying to make eyes like
Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt either of you. I have no need.
So now that we're done catching up, and you've told us a little bit about how we got here, are we, close enough now that you can tell us what your job was? What you were doing here? It's kind of, a very specific location for what now I am assuming you were involved with the Sith, and now we are involved with the Jedi, end up in the same place. At the same time.
I'm assuming you followed
separated.
me and my partner from Duxon.
Yeah. Okay. Things are adding up now. Some of them, I would say. I wouldn't say all of them, but...
Wait, did you kill the professor?
Both of them, yes. Is that the problem?
Lumira!
New?
Your friend was the killer.
New?
Your friend was the killer.
New?
To be fair, the professor had Freed and Nad whispering in his ear and was too far gone to ever come back from that. So, I put him out of his misery.
Freed and Nad?
Uh-huh.
It's a lot of old Sith things, I feel like, come in.
Yes, quite a few. It's very annoying.
Are you trying to stop them?
I don't want to lie to you, so no, I'm not stopping them, but I'm also not joining them, if that is your concern.
Lumira, I think we should go find our masters. It's been very nice visiting with you. I hope you have a nice rest of your day. Lumira?
Yes. Okay. What? What?
Just
What?
we'll do a little sidebar. So I think we should go. I think we should run. I think we should find our masters, and then I think we should get on the ship, and I think we should get off the Sith moon and away from your maybe Sith friend who killed people.
Lumira's killed quite a few people too.
Just like looks over her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Not die to survive.
Mostly.
It's not always a clear-cut answer to answer, right? When someone asks you, hey, did you kill some people? Yeah, why? At the moment I had to, I don't know what other things to say here. There's nothing I say is going to make you feel better, but yes, I killed people and I did it because I had to. I don't go around like murdering people like some people have just admitted to doing. Also,
would you have wanted an agent of Frida Nad wandering around ready to set monsters loose on Duxon?
No, but I feel like it's a little more complicated than that. But no. I think that's a great idea to go find our masters and get out of here, but can you show me where?
I will. I'm immediately scanning any exit the size of me that I can squeeze myself through and disappear from existence here.
I will say when that becomes the mode, Odias sits down crisscross applesauce, turns the lightsaber off, sets the handle in her lap, hand on it, ready to use it if necessary, but just goes into a meditative state.
Sure, absolutely. So you turn off the lightsaber, and that purple glow vanishes, leaving us just with the light from Lumira's saber. By it, Nu, as you glance around, there does seem to be at least one space that you could make it through. I'm not sure if it's an upside or a downside that it looks like you're probably the only one who could make it through. But it does seem to be the only way out of this collapsed pit you find yourselves in.
Oh. She deeply considers the whole. But then whispers, and she's gonna like kind of go over into a corner, away, as far away as she can get from Odias, and honestly a little bit away from Lumira, and gets in her own kind of meditative space, with eyes open though, as she tries to reach out with sense to see if there are any other living creatures in the nearby vicinity.
Sure, yeah, let's do it. We love it.
You love it. Okay, I've got 2 light, 1 dark.
Okay. So, which ones would you like to use?
Well, I'd like to use my light for sure, as much as I can get away with. Let's see. I've got I should have said this was move and not sense, because then I'd try to move boulders. But it's fine. I will take these light side points, and I will try to do what I originally said, which is try to sense all living things within short range, including sentient and non-sentient beings. I will spend a light side point on that. And then I believe I took a little dippy dip. I took a dip into control, which can sense the current thoughts of one living target with whom I am engaged. And so I would like to, if that is okay, to sense out and spend one light side there to see if I can find my masters, or my master and Lumira's master. And then I would like to use control and spend a light side point on that to try to get the current thoughts of Odias.
Ooh. Oh, we love this. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. First, you reach out, and there's something very communal about the way that this seems to feel for you. Like times where you and your family and your community have gathered and have taken a large piece of equipment and are passing it down the line, breaking it down piece by piece, ensuring that everyone gets what they need. There's a moment here as you reach out with the Force where you can feel the Force sort of guiding you through, passing you onward, forward and forward, beyond the rubble that keeps your physical body enclosed here, beyond the people, one of whom you thought maybe you knew a little bit, but now are not too sure, and the other who I'm sure is sending off all the alarm bells. But beyond them, past that, and at first, there is nothing. It is emptiness. You cannot feel Valden. You cannot feel Way. You cannot feel even small critters that you would assume would call a place like this home. There is nothing. And then there is a flare. And there are 5 things that you feel very clearly. You can sense the barest wisps of your master and Lumira's, but surrounding them is darkness, as though they are enclosed in it, and after a moment, like a candle, their flames go out. From the other side, by the rubble, by the hole that you saw, you feel something familiar. You feel that same sensation you did when you first awoke, that same sensation you did when you found yourself out in the rain. As you walked down the steps, you can feel the hand gripping yours again as it calls to you. Odias, what does Newton sense from you? What are your base thoughts here? What are you thinking about?
She's actually surprisingly calm. She doesn't feel threatened by the two of them. She doesn't feel threatening to them. But she is also, with her own limited ability, trying to figure out when Bane is coming back. So there's not fear, but you sense preparation for a threat. That is not us. And preparation, unsure if she's going to have to deal with it by herself again, or if she can count on the two of you to step in. So she honestly is like assessing the two of you and trying to decide whether you will be useful or not.
Lumira, what are you doing while this is happening? You now have on either side of this pit of rubble that you are all sort of trapped beneath. On one end, you have Odias, Kedri, kneeling. Eyes closed, correct? Right? Is that what you said? Yes, eyes closed, clearly in meditation. On the other side of the pit, you have Newton, similarly knelt, eyes open, clearly only barely here.
Well, it looks like they're both using the Force, and I feel like if all three of us close our eyes, that'll be like a really stupid idea. So, I'll let them meditate, and I actually have one little tick mark in survival. So I think using just like general observation and survival skills to also assess the opposite like end of the spectrum of the situation may be helpful there and a little bit different because I don't think I have any force skills that involve assisting in something like this. At least not
So
far
just
enough up the tree to help.
sort of seeking a way out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, or anything that could like lead us in a different direction or assist us in like making that hole that Newton found bigger.
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
for sure. So here's what we'll say. So as a survival cunning would be cunning you have 3, survival you have 1 rank. So you will roll 3 green and 1 yellow. And what I'm going to say is it's going to be a difficulty 2, 3. It's going to be a difficulty 3. And I'm going to give you 1 black die because it's real dark in here, and the only light you have to go by is your own saber.
Can I borrow y'all's lightsabers?
You can always flip a force die to the dark side to upgrade one of your dice. If you want.
You give me a difficulty 3 on just like a search and discover task.
Good.
I feel like I do want to flip it. I think I want to flip it because it's funny.
Do it.
Also. It's funny. Let me.
It is funny. I'm trying to decide if I want to help you with something, but I'm not sure if I can.
You're thinking hard.
Okay.
So if you're gonna flip to upgrade, yeah, you can flip one of your dice from green to yellow.
Okay, so 2 yellow, 2 green, 3 difficulty, 1 black die.
Yep.
Oof. Here we go.
That looks bad. What does that mean?
No, that's good.
That's good. A success.
And 2 threats.
You did good. You also put eyes on us.
Hey, that's fine.
So looking around, I'm gonna say you notice a couple of spaces between these like larger rocks that, if like carefully like moved, could probably cause the farther part of this collapse to fall, leaving you a path to what you vaguely remember to be one of the tunnels that was on your side.
Okay.
Don't worry about the threat for now.
Okay, no, Liam. No, I feel like I deserve to know what the threat is right now.
That's noted. Consider it noted. I've taken it under advisement.
I feel like at least one of the threats feels evident in continue cave in. See what happens.
I was like, either I'm gonna roll again by messing with this and get us out of here, or I kill us. Those are 2 very opposite things that are both apparently very reasonably able to happen. And the other one, I feel like the other threat is gonna be Bane comes back and tries to kill us either way. So like,
he can fucking try.
Yeah.
It's a threat too, Cass. I don't know what to tell you. He might succeed.
No, he won't.
Okay. Great. Well, what do I do with this information? You guys are both, speaking with the other side or whatever it is, Ouija board stuff you're doing.
I got friends.
Would you like a second to think about it?
Mm. What happens if I just nudge the area, like real cautious, like?
You could do that.
Okay, I want to do that.
Yeah, sure. So you're just sort of like nudging at the like pieces of broken like rock and stone.
Yeah, I want to see what happens. Like, where do the pieces fall? Like, what's my, what's
Sure.
the vibe?
So you go over and what's your brawn, by the way?
In what context? That's an important question for my for my sheet. Is like, in what context is brawn being used?
Let's say like athletics.
Athletics.
Yeah.
Shoot. Okay, because I switched my for the species. You can switch either, I think, athletics or brawl to agility, and I picked brawl.
You did.
I like to fight people. My brawn is also 3, actually.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So you go over and you put a hand against one of these like larger pieces, and you shift it ever so slightly. I'm gonna say, because you do have training in survival and you did roll a success, you are at the very least knowledgeable enough with this that you're not about to like whoopsie your way into crushing all of you. You're careful and you're slow and you're methodical in this, and you kind of like push against the stone, and as you do, you can hear from deeper beyond it bits of rubble sort of falling into place, as you hear smaller like rocks and pebbles and stones just sort of like that, just sort of rolling off.
Came from the void. That was wonderful.
So you just and there she goes, gone again. She'll be back. Anyway,
the fact that it did not blip at all, except for the cat, just peak comedy.
So, you can hear some of the rubble falling further in, and you see that if you were to hold this in place and had another set of hands, maybe 2, that could push out some of the other surrounding rocks next to it, then what's behind it would probably settle enough for you to roll that big piece off to the side and give you an exit. Now, while that's happening, you are seated there, still reaching out with the Force, and you begin to feel something else.
Oh, God.
Something reaching back.
No.
It starts like small, minuscule hands trying to reach for you, trying to grip at you and drag you. And it grows, more of them and more of them, into this wave of misshapen energy of something wrong and impossible that tries to drag you from yourself. And it seems to be under you. But it's coming closer. An impossible number of hands coming for you.
Does Newton show any signs of outward distress?
I think if I'm able, I'm like little hands grabbing at me coming from basement, and I think immediately in Jawi's just like Nafusu, Honya Nafusu, which means below, enemy below, and I think would just be like popping up.
Okay, so Lumira, the purple lightsaber comes on, and I am stalking towards Newton, with my lightsaber drawn. But I'm not looking at Newton, I'm looking around her.
Lumira, what about you? How do you react to all of this?
Probably a similar like reaction to how do you say your name, Cass?
Odias, but you don't know my name is Odias. You know me as Kedri.
You
You're
say
too far
yours.
away.
Either way.
You're too far away.
Oh, fuck me. All right. Okay. Anyways, is it better now?
Yes.
Okay. Probably a similar course of action, but like definitely heading to intercept your path with Newton, automatically like defensive mode. Uh, Even if you don't look like you're like looking at them, it's still like a protective mode. I don't know what you're about to do. But lightsaber drawn in the direction of Newton is cries.
I'm gonna ask you a question, Lumira.
Oh no, I don't want to. No.
How careful are you setting this piece of stone back down? Because if you're trying to spring quickly into action to be able to react, that will change things.
Not carefully.
Not
I had to
carefully.
think about how impulsive this decision is to protect Newton, and it is definitely like innate at this point.
Wonderful. We love that. Okay. So you sort of drop the boulder and spring into action, igniting your saber, turning in New's direction. The group of you hear the stone hit stone and it echoes. And then there's a crackling sound. And small bits of debris begin to sprinkle down on the group of you. Nothing large enough to cause damage, but small stones and pebbles plink off of your heads and shoulders and backs. Some of the stone sizzling as it falls into the saber, falling away as so much slag beyond it. And New, whether or not you've tried to let go of the grip that you share with your friend, you still feel them coming. The small hands driving upwards, clambering towards you from somewhere below.
I think because it feels like my friend, but then it also doesn't. It feels like this voice that has been leading me here, which is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. But did that voice, the person I saw, looks like this person who's with me here, correct?
No.
No. Okay, different. Okay.
Different.
Oh goodness. That's not me. Oh gosh. I mean, that person led me here. But I don't like grippy little hands.
I think if it helps, I think Odias will call out and say, "What is below, little Padwan?"
There are hands. There's so many little hands. They're clinging at me.
Stand up and come here.
And I think we'll start to get up and try to move forward. Am I being gripped to the ground, or is it just like a feeling of on my presence?
It's like on your presence. You are more than welcome to rise and move.
Okay, I think I will start taking like hesitant steps towards you, but you have your blade, your saber out, and I think she only takes a couple before she stops.
I am not going to hurt either of you.
Do I feel like she's telling the truth?
I don't know, do you?
Well, I was like, I've been in her thoughts.
That's true.
I might try to get into her thoughts again.
Well, you are more than welcome to.
Okay. And I will attempt another sense here, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lion, I have nothing in sense, but for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Can I open the door essentially so that I can make it a two-way conversation here?
Not with sense, but you can just sort of open yourself up and let Newton in.
Done.
Great. Roll me your
Open
force.
book.
Roll me your force roll.
Oh God, does this open book give me dark or light? Dark side. Too dark side. Classic.
Would you like to use them both?
Oh gosh. Well, I am using sense.
I'll tell you what. So you have to use the one to activate it.
Yeah.
But if you use the other as well, I'll let you go a little deeper.
Oh, I mean, right now I think Nu is, well, she was scared to begin with, had like this adrenaline rush, weird tug, following this voice in, feeling a little like some sense of bravado for a second. And I think that's all winding down now. And she's trying to like get control of the situation. And so, yeah, I think she will use both as she tries to like tap in and just get as much information as she can.
I love that. Yes. So you reach out to Odias, and where you expect to find, as normally you find, some level of maybe not active pushback, but like gates, there's usually a need to dig. Here there is none. You slip in like, for lack of a better term, a hot knife through butter. Deeper and deeper. And you find that instead of just pouring in and looking at what's ahead of you, you're almost drawn further in. At least at first it feels that way. It feels like you are being pulled deeper, ushered forward. But the further you go and the more you see, the more you come to understand the Sith. The more you realize the only thing driving you forward is you. The only thing moving you onward is you. You want to see more. You want to know more. I mean, you have always been inquisitive after all, right? Odias? No. Nu. I would like you to ask any 3 questions that you would like of Odias. And Odias, you're going to give us a memory that answers each of them.
Oh, gosh. I think the first and foremost that is on top of mind is, do you mean any of us harm?
I have to answer with a memory?
You can give a straightforward, flat out answer if you'd like.
No, because I have a thing. I have an idea.
Oh, then yes, yeah, 100% answer with a memory.
How can I obscure this answer?
Also, hi Raiders, hello. Okay, so I think the memory that instantly flashes back is of a younger Odias. Again, you don't know her name because I don't think it's come up yet. I've only said Lumira's name. Lumira's never said my name. You see this person, sans the tattooing on the right-hand side of her face, just this tattooing. Younger, probably about your age in this memory. And she is sparring with Lumira with a lightsaber. They are having a blades out fight. This is not a training. I mean, it is training, but they are fighting. And then all of a sudden you see Odias turn her blade off, roll under Lumira's, come up, grab her by the chin, yank her blade arm away, and push her against the wall and kiss her. And that's the answer you get to, do I mean you any harm?
I think Nu, like, kind of like, there's like the anime shiver of like up to the top. Like, she viewed something she should not have. That felt very personal. But does at least answer the question as far as Lumira's concerned. And so she notes that for herself, that at least there's safety there. I think her next question would be, what are you really doing here?
You see a memory of a Sith temple, much like this one, and a figure standing across from this person, me. He's the same height, but he's broader. He's carrying Mandalorian armor pieces. And there's distrust and a holocron between them that comes to life. And that memory instantly switches to the version of Odias you see before you today, standing back to back on a stairwell with this man, and watching them be forcefully separated from each other, but coming back to each other. You just see these moments of them working together. Like, you don't know who this guy is, but you can tell from this memory that this is the most important person in Odias's life. That whatever she's doing it with him.
And do I get a sense from any of these glimpses of what you two are doing, or is that masked?
It's you see the holocron on her belt, and like sometimes it is flaring to life and she winces in pain, but like you see them doing things, but you don't know what the goal is. So I ain't giving that to you, Katelynn. I'm sorry.
No, well, that's okay, because my next question is going to be this, and I'm going to take whatever I can from it, which is, what are you and your partner's ends? Noticing the aversion, I think she's going to flat out ask that question and see what comes up.
You see two planets. I don't know if you'll recognize them, but for the audience, they are Dathomir and Mandalore. And you see a Mandalorian fleet marked with Dathomiri and Mandalorian livery. And you see Odias and this partner in positions of power. But it is not. I think every kid, it's been 200 years, but every kid has grown up with stories of the Empire and the First Order. It is not that. It is a power that, I mean, you see her being hostile to Jedi, but not aggressive. Like working with people in the temple, but not trying to harm them, but also not support it. It's a rule. It's obviously a power grab, but it is a power grab that does not have any interest in imposing the dark side on the galaxy. Everyone who seems to come before these two on their thrones comes of their own free will.
And I feel like there's and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Nu reads this almost like the power, the way it's situated feels almost like this justified power within your, like, kind of your, planets, your domains, in essence.
I think the last thing you get is a flash of a hope of what it could be, and I think you see Odias before you, reaching down a hand, obviously, to you as she sits on this throne.
There, I think as you reach out that hand, Nu's kind of like force self in this moment gets a glimpse of perhaps what this could be for the Jawa, in essence, because it seems almost like a restoration of these places, and this kind of like, if not return to power, finally gaining the power they deserve. And I feel like there's a moment of that, especially after having felt small earlier, where she starts to reach out to your hand. But as she realizes she's doing that, she like kind of stops herself and then attempts to flood you with the sensation of the little grippy hands that are grabbing at her and flood that towards you.
Oh, you're giving me something, Lion. Lion, can I bind Nu Tu to me for just a minute?
What?
Tell me exactly what you're thinking, and I'll tell you how we can make it work.
Okay, so I'm like, okay, so like technically binding people is like supposed to like physically stop, like physically keep them from moving. But I'm having the idea that floodgates are open. We're going both ways here. What if little grippy hands are obviously trying to take Nu Tu, and I go, no, mine. And I reach out and as Nu Tu hesitates to take my hand, I take Nu Tu's hand and I drag Nu Tu to me away from the grippy hands and bind Nu Tu to me just for a moment.
Interesting. Roll me a force roll.
I gotta watch this happen.
I don't know if this is gonna work, guys, but I'm willing to burn as many destiny dice as I need to make it fucking happen.
Oh, interesting.
What do we got?
For those of you watching at home, that is 2 light and 1 dark.
Take my light side.
Which 2 would you like to use?
Okay, I'm gonna think like I did earlier when I did something like this. I'm gonna meet Nu Tu where Nu Tu is at, using the light side.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to break every single finger on every single one of those hands using the dark side.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Sick.
So, here's what I'm going to do. First, Odias. I would like you to ask Nu Tu a question.
Why are you a Jedi?
Nu, I'd like you to answer with a memory.
I think the memory you see is the last with her mother. It was as her mother came into her force-sensitive powers and was taken to be the mystic of the clan, and so taken off of their scavenging vessel and brought into the kind of clan's main caverns. And so the family was divided, but before her mother left, she gave Nu a book of just like stories and things of people with powers, different people, people seen as strange, but being heroes. And one of those stories was a story of a Jedi. And she held on to that, but didn't think too much of it. And then it like shifts to another memory of finding pieces on a scavenging run of what is now her, like parts of what is now her saber.
I'll just envelop Newton and say, they are not the only way. And I am not your enemy.
Lumira, seeing all of this happen, what do you do in this moment?
How much of it can I actually see? And how much of it is in their heads? Like, what am I actually seeing?
Well, there's a moment where the two of them are just sort of locked, looking at each other. I do believe there was an extension of a hand.
Okay.
I do believe there was almost the taking of the hand. And then there's this embrace, correct?
Okay. Is your lightsaber still drawn?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, hello, Thunder.
This is a hard one. Okay, I was just looking at this for combat reasons.
This is not the 2v1 I expected.
Okay.
It's exactly what I thought was going to happen.
Actually, no, I think that's in combat. Shit. No, is it? I don't know. I don't have the whole thing written down. Shit.
Well, what would you like to try and do? And we'll see if we can make it work,
So,
combat or not.
I have a force power called Ward's Foresight, and the user can feel the force flowing around another specific individual to gain insight into what the person might do. But I don't remember if this is combat specific.
Let me see. Give me a moment. I'll double check.
Other than that, if it is combat specific, I kind of just want to punch her in the face with Brawl, and then since that's a skill, use.
I'm literally just hugging your friend. Why are you
have your
punching
lightsaber
me?
drawn? I don't trust you, and you're hugging my friend. You know what? I don't like you. I don't know what to tell you.
Just because I ghosted you and broke up with you.
I don't know if we were ever official. That's not. No.
It wasn't Facebook official. I see how it is.
Absolutely not.
I like the vibes here. Why don't you take that swing?
Okay, but it has I have a other force power called Ebb Flow, which I want to use Flow. So when the force user makes a skill check, they may roll a force power check as part of the roll. The user may spend one force die, or whatever symbol, to. Oh wait, no, I don't want to use Flow. I want to use Ebb.
Ebb. Yeah. Okay.
Same thing. I want to inflict strain. I take one strain and inflict one strain on all engaged characters. But I have plus strength and plus control, and I forgot what control is, but I think that means 2 strain for you, not 1.
So with control, there are a couple of different ones. The first control is either spend 3 force once per encounter to ask a yes or no question.
Okay.
The other one is when making a combined check, you can spend to add a threat to a check made by engaged opponents. Or
Which one is this for?
advantage. Ebb and flow.
Oh, okay. What was this
You
again?
can, if you have strength, you can spend more to do more strain or to heal more, depending on which one you do.
Okay. And then control was ask a question or determine a threat, or
it can add a threat or an advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, let me use that.
Okay. So yeah, let's roll
Okay.
your force dice, and you're also gonna roll. Let's see. So we're doing straight up fist to the face.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do brawl, right?
Yes, but that is agility for
Agility,
me, which I think are the same.
It's gonna be
gonna
2
parry.
green, 1 yellow.
I'm gonna parry.
How can't you can't?
I can.
How? How?
While I am in your embrace.
When hit by a melee attack.
You have to be hit first. You may not get hit.
Yeah.
You may not get
If you
hit.
hit me. If you hit me.
Do you have? You don't have any defense, right?
To me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
You have defense.
You're hugging someone. Tell me how you're gonna parry.
I have one melee defense.
How are you going to parry?
I'm gonna let go of new 10.
Oh my god. Disadvantage.
It's a reaction.
Disadvantage.
This is literally what I am built for.
Disadvantage.
I'm a goddamn duelist. What do you want from me?
Congratulations, you're hugging someone. Disadvantage.
Okay. So they do have defense. So you're gonna add 1 black die and 2 difficulty die because that's the standard for any melee attack. We'll figure the rest out from there.
Wait. So right now, Lumira's having to add a setback die.
Yes.
To punch me, Katelynn.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Lumira's more of my ally and knows you better than I do. I think seeing Lumira come in and being like, "Oh, was I just drawn into this when I shouldn't have been? Someone else is on high alert." I'm going to use my sense danger feature and just attempt to, while you're trying to like loosen your grip on me to get in position, I'm going to just shift you slightly. And so you can get rid of that setback die.
Oh, amazing. So you don't roll the black die.
Thank you.
This is incredible. This is so good.
Okay.
I appreciate the Jedi are the ones setting you up here. Oh my goodness. Okay.
I hate you. Well, now I can parry it.
No, wait, hold on. I have to.
We gotta see if
increase your threat, maybe.
Fantastic.
Okay. What? Okay, 1 force die, right? Because I have like 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Just okay. Fuck.
That's okay. You can still use that to do it if you want. Do you want to?
What does that mean?
Well, you can use light or dark side to do the thing.
Okay.
It's just about where you're leaning at the time.
Fuck.
So for the audience,
Literally-
Lumira got 1 dark side.
You are literally punching someone who is hugging your friend.
Yeah, who?
And all they did was ghost you about 7, 8 years ago.
And then joined the Sith, apparently. All I know is that you murdered 2 people that we were supposed to be following. You, to catch you, who murdered people. You did that. You won't tell me all of your plans because you're like, we don't know each other like that anymore. Then you're drawing your lightsaber. All I know is my best friend is screaming and you're running at her and then hug her. No, this does not look good for you. Punch deserved.
I'm
right
parrying.
now, yes.
I'm parrying. Fuck you.
Wait, hold on.
You do nothing to me.
I haven't decided what I'm doing.
You do nothing to me because I got 3 successes and 2 advantage.
How many force die to increase threat?
Okay. So with ebb and flow. So with ebb, Force die you can increase. Okay, so you would need a second die in order to add another sign to the roll.
Okay.
So you only have the one, so you can only do the one, which would be giving them strain.
I want to do that.
Okay, cool. Now, Odias, you want to parry.
Mm-hmm. I rolled a whole bunch of successes and advantage to do it too. And yes, I went ahead and marked the strain.
Thank you.
Wait.
No, my strain to parry. I have not marked anything from you yet because I don't know that it works that way.
It
if
does
I parry.
work that way. It does work. It doesn't matter. You can't do anything about it. You just get it.
Hang on. Okay.
Bitch asses.
I love this energy. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna ask a really important question, and then we're gonna figure it out from there. Nu, you positioned Odias to make it easier for them to get hit.
Yes.
Are you doing anything else?
Well, so I have two kind of questions here because so first question is I have sense danger, but I also have something now called sense advantage. And once per session, I may add 2 setback die to an NPC's skill check. Now, I was like, non-ally in this moment. I'm wondering if that's not possible, which I totally understand if it's not, then I might try a force move.
I'm tempted to allow it to happen.
Okay. Let's see. So I feel like if you are allowing for that, then I think sensing the advantage, what would that be? I've currently positioned Odias to be closer, and I think seeing Lumira come in, I don't know if it's. Yeah, I'm going to say this. This is the first thing that's coming to mind. That I see part of... Because Lumira had tried to get some of the wall down, right? So that part of that had come down, and that had caused a little bit of kerfuffleness.
Correct.
I think Nu spots a little, like, extra piece of that and is going to, like, attempt to just, with a casual move, shift it and give, like, as some of the rocks fall down, essentially sensing this possible advantage with, like, a small shift to create falling debris action.
You're hitting me in the head with a rock.
Not hitting your head, causing a little spillage to create an advantage here.
Okay, just to be clear, how much strain do I take from whatever the fuck that Lumira just did to me? How much strain do I take? Just one.
You're gonna take one.
Excellent.
You're gonna take 1 point of strain.
I'm looking a little stressed. Because I had already endured 2 strain from Bane before we even got here. Okay,
It's
and
true.
I have burned strain to get rid of him and then to parry and Anyway,
accurate.
I also now have to roll 2 setback die to add to my parry. Is that what I'm understanding?
So here's what's gonna happen. So we're gonna get a little loosey goosey with the rules here, specifically because technically there's no role for you to parry. Parry is technically an innate action, but we have a lot of things happening here. So here's what we're gonna do. Also, I am gonna echo what X said in chat. It's amazing that the other table, no conflict whatsoever. But
this is not girls supporting girls. I'm just gonna say that. This is not girls supporting girls. You are so muted, Elsie.
No. Look,
I ghosted you.
You wanted this
when we
wanted this in the backstory. You came to me with the idea.
Here's what happens. Hang on.
Lion, hold on, Lion. I gotta tell you this. You said no combat at the other table. That's because you didn't put Cass and I at the other table. You put Cass at the other table specifically. This is what happened.
This is true.
This is what happens.
This is true.
Okay, carry on.
It's valid. Okay, so
Honestly,
here's what happens.
I have accidentally killed Elsie twice at tables.
So happy right now. So here's what happens. So as this embrace is happening and you draw Nu Tu in, Lumira steps forward and with their offhand, because I assume you're holding your lightsaber in your main hand.
Yes.
is going to take a swing at you. You see it coming, and then as you step to try and respond to it, two things happen. The first is you feel yourself shift ever so slightly, your body moving just a bit to put you off kilter, off base, and more directly in the path of this incoming fist. And then as you attempt to release Nu to bring your arm up to counter this, a bit of rubble falls, crashing onto your shoulder, making you stumble ever so slightly as this fist lands squarely in your face. You will take 1 wound as
Even
you are
with my,
rocked.
oh yeah, it's my face, not a body shot. So
Yeah, as you are rocked in the mouth or the nose. I don't know. Up to you, Lumira, where you're going.
Yeah, where do you hit me?
Yeah. I love that there's a deep level of thought to this. I appreciate.
No, it's Dr. LC brain over there.
100%. I love it.
Jaw, knockout pot, jaw.
Okay, and it would be left, so I get clocked this side. Ugh. I look down at Nu Tu.
Oh god. Nu Tu vomits. Nobody sees it though because it's in her mask.
Oh no!
Oh no! 10 out of 10 is worst possible option.
Just little, like you see a little,
just a
like
little
dribble of.
I think the hand is still up and is just rubbing my jaw. So that is the thanks I get for keeping Bane's hands off of you. Okay. And I will look at Lumira. Use your words. If you are angry, use your words.
I tried to use my words, and you told me that we were not at that level of, conversation. You were withholding information. You came at my partner, friend, whatever, with a lightsaber after she was screaming.
And hugged her.
You know, it doesn't always come off
Is
as
this
a hug.
jealousy, Lumira?
No! First of all, you left. I don't care. I was mad because I lost someone training me. I don't give a shit about you as a person. Clearly, I don't need to. You make your own bad choices. I know her better than I know you, apparently, and therefore a hug in a situation where two opposed forces are here and one is not sharing anything on their side. How am I supposed to know you saved us from Bane? Maybe you're setting us up. I don't know. So either you are honest with us, or you risk getting punched again when you make sudden movements that involve close contact.
Nu Tu, am I setting you up? Have I been honest with you?
Partially, at least. I think Nu starts to shift and like kind of starts to group a little closer to Lumira again.
You want the truth. Okay, here's the truth. Darth Bane is bound to this place and led us here. And I'm very, very tired of him trying to dictate to me. And so I want to rip him apart. Destroy him before he decides he wants to try and choke me out. So, here's what I have planned. We get out of our little rubble pile without dropping rocks on me again, and I look at Nu Tu. We get out of our little rubble pile. We find Bane's weakness, because he is weak. He is nothing but a dead old man. And I get the sense you two were led to me because something else also wants him gone. So, I am no Sith. Nor am I a Jedi. I do not wish to be either. Honesty. Now, can we refrain from hitting me in the face again? Because, trust me, if my partner sees the bruises, that will be bad for you. He hits first and does not talk to people who hit him. He just kills them.
Nu will kind of turn to Lumira and go, yeah, the partner did look pretty intense, too.
It's a teddy bear.
The partner knows you as well as I do, then he'll know that you probably deserved it. So, fine.
He really
Honesty.
won't. He really won't.
He doesn't know you well.
Well, he knows me better than anyone.
Sure. Honesty, from now on. Appreciated. Thank you. And I won't mess with you anymore or punch you. As long as you're not a dick.
Why does everyone ask me not to be a dick? It's... All right,
Self-reflect.
I'll do my...
Maybe self-reflection, and you'll find out.
I am who I am.
Nu.
I'm gonna step in front of Newton just a little bit.
Now, you were moving a rock. What are we moving? As
That
my
way.
eldest
I
child
found,
screams underneath me.
Let her cook. That way, I motioned towards the area that Newton initially found that I was moving rocks, and I don't know if I fucked it up coming after you, but we'll see. I remember there's still threat there. Over there that I rolled. I remember that. So everybody else remember too. I think that you should go first, Cass.
I see, I knew it was coming. And yet, yeah, what do I gotta roll to get a look at this and decide if it's going to crush us now?
Oh, we'll call it a survival cunning. And we're going to give it a difficulty of 3. There's also going to be 1 setback die, because it's dark here still.
Oof. Too bad I used that sense danger, huh?
How dark is it?
Yeah, if you activate
My
your
lightsaber, my lightsaber
oh
has
yeah, it's
not
still
been
active.
turned off.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Don't worry about the setback die. Proceed.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's fucking go. This is not gonna go well, guys.
Some of the best teamwork I've ever seen at this table.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. I told you it wasn't going to go well, and then it didn't.
So looking it over, you see what looks to be a fairly stable grouping of collapsed stone and rubble. In fact, whatever it was that Lumira did made it seem like this is probably going to be very easy to dig your way out of. In fact, yes.
I'm flipping a dice. I'm flipping a force dice. I want to get out of here. Can I just blow a hole and have it work and have it? Ooh, lightning. I don't know if y'all heard that.
I did.
Big.
Wow, yeah. thematic. It's very thematic. I like
It's
this.
very thematic. Yeah, I would like to burn a destiny dice, flip as many as I need to just get us a safe tunnel out of here. I'm mad. I'm angry. They pissed me off. My jaw hurts.
I'll meet you halfway.
Okay.
We'll flip 2 destiny dice over to the light side.
You're welcome.
I'm going to ask you to
Thanks.
make me a force roll. And then you're going to get to blast your way to the tunnel. I don't know that I can promise safely, but you can blast your way to the tunnel.
One of each.
One of each. We love it.
One of each.
Okay. So you look this over, and you realize that this is a waste of your time. You're fully done being stuck here with these two, and you just cast your hand out, and for a moment everything is silent and still. And then the 3 of you can hear what sounds like small rocks shaking, clacking against each other for a moment. And then you see the smallest ones begin to rise. And then they all begin to compact. And then explode outwards. This loud blast echoes around you. Bits of stone pelt the lot of you. Ahead of you, you see a damaged but still passable tunnel. And everything begins to collapse around you.
Time to go. And I just start running without you. Goodbye.
Yeah. I think, just look at Lumira and, like, run. Seek!
Lumira knew of the 2 of you who's the first to go.
You want to flip a coin?
Sure.
I don't have.
You guys can roll a D100
Yeah,
and
why don't you
anything.
just, one of you
in
can
the-
roll a D.
yeah.
Yeah, why don't you both roll a D100 and we'll see who rolls higher.
Is that accessible via our? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Aha!
Yup.
Okay.
Oh wait.
Ooh.
Oh, I just used a different thing. What'd you?
86.
Oh, you got
Oh,
86, yo!
Oh wait, I should roll in here, or should I just tell you what I rolled?
Yeah,
no,
go for
roll.
it.
Yeah.
Roll in here.
Okay.
Roll in here.
How do I roll in here?
So if you look at all the
see.
different dice, there's one that just says 100 on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. I was fortunate. Either way, I got lower both times, so it's fine. I was rolling too well, and it's finally caught up to me.
It does
I'm very
happen.
fast.
I should fast as fuck, boy.
And Lumira is just getting left behind again.
That's fine. That's fine.
So here's what happens.
Maybe I'll get forced.
You,
this time.
Yet, give it time. You
Could've
both
kicked off this
go running after Odias. And Nu is just a second or two ahead of you, scrambling forward. Lumira, as you move forward, a large piece of stonework falls, slamming into your shoulder. There is a moment of hot, searing pain as you feel it pop out of place.
Buddy.
You are going to take 2 strain and 3 wound. Now, you have soak, I believe, so it will reduce the amount of wound you take by your soak. So I believe you take 1 wound because you have 2 soak, right? Awesome. Okay.
Lion, the last time I played, I almost died. So.
Yep. Sure did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it again.
Life makes choices for you sometimes. It's unfortunate. Oh,
I make choices for me.
About to say
that's also very true.
Me.
I did set
punch
myself
me,
up
so
for
now I'm
this.
not gonna help you. Bye.
That's fair. That's fair. I can't even argue with that.
Odias, you're the first into this next room, so you're the first to see it, but very quickly after, you're joined, flanked almost, by these two Jedi. Because ahead of you, what you see is a room with a deep, jagged scar running horizontally across it, the ground having fallen out through the center of this room, revealing a dark, black chasm separating you from the other side. The room itself is covered in what is mostly rotted, burned, or otherwise eaten away at tapestries coating the walls. And on the far end is what looks to be a stone chalice or mortar of some sort. And beyond it, a door. On that door, you see a symbol that I can confidently say you have never seen before in your life. Which I would argue maybe stands out more than if you had. Entering into this room, there is immediately a feeling of, before these two Jedi join you, total isolation. There is a split second where you feel completely alone. So completely alone. And then you hear the footsteps. New Lumira, my tongue got stuck. Lumira, as the two of you stumble forward into this room, you're met with the same issue, the same problem of the chasm, the same strange tapestries, and for just a moment before you glance in each other's direction, again, that feeling of loneliness and isolation. Lumira, you recognize the symbol on the far side, though.
Oh.
It's been a very long time since you've seen it. You were only a child the last time. Your caretaker had that symbol etched on their forehead. They told you it was a promise. A promise you'd understand one day.
I think Odias would have turned to look at the two of them as they came out. Do I see anything on Lumira's face clocking recognition?
Nope.
Okay. All right. All right. New friends. Who is going to jump first? And I feel like we are on a short timer, so let's pick fast.
It's as you say that you hear it. The churning sound. Like bones falling over each other. Rolling, scrambling. And then a clawed hand. Skeletal. With just the barest pieces of what look like rotten meat falling from it. Clutches the edge of that chasm. And then a second. And then a third. And a fourth. And a fifth. And they just keep coming.
Oh, this is familiar.
Oh, grabby hands.
Okay. I had a plan the first time this happened with the bugs. I got a second plan. Can I bind them into a little bridge for me to scamper across, please and thank you?
Ooh.
That's a good idea.
I
was gonna leave it for y'all.
I love that. Yeah, roll me your force die. You're going to need dark side points for this. You're gonna need dark side for this.
I gave you so many.
You're still gonna roll
That's
light side. Though.
I gotta
Even
roll
with
it.
us.
I gotta roll the dark side points.
But you can flip. You can flip more. You've got 4 left. You can flip more of them if you want.
You're gonna roll all light side this time, though. I know
Why
it.
are you
Put
doing
that
this?
on
Why
me.
Why, Caitlin?
It's the
thought
way
we
of
were
the
friends.
Jedi, of
I
course.
thought we were friends.
We're
The way
eking out on
of the
you.
Jedi to make a
did not call us
skeletal
friends.
like meat bridge.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
go. I'm
not harming
consistent.
anybody. We can do that. It's not harming anybody.
I'm
Amazing.
consistent.
Every time.
Do I need 2?
You
Lion?
do need to.
I will flip another destiny to get 2.
Let's go.
Let me make a note of that real quick.
Counteracts my destiny I flipped.
Yeah. We're getting some teamwork going on. Inadvertent,
it.
but it's still happening. You're fueling each other. It's wonderful. Why
Are
don't
we feeling each other? Are we?
Yeah, 100%. Why don't you describe for me what everyone sees here?
Meat bridge.
Meat bridge. Bone bridge. Okay, so Lumira and Nu Tu are kind of like I think Odias takes a half a step forward, lightsaber still drawn, and with her free left hand, which is got a really weird gauntlet on it, by the way. You just watch her hand scoop like she's digging a hole in sand, and you watch all of these little grabby hands coalesce into a single pile and start like, you know how when you build a bridge in Legos, like you have to like do on either side and then stack up like an arch, like, yeah, so like you just watch bodies get stacked up on each other until she can run across them. I don't think she leaves it there for y'all.
I was like, I was thinking, do you let it drop or do you let it stay with the idea that if we run across, you might let it drop?
Oh no, I just drop it.
Okay. So yeah, all of these skeletons just knit together, creating this bridge, and Odias is easily able to go past it. If the two of you want, we can roll dice about trying to get you across before it falls.
Wait, I have
Yeah, hit me with it.
1
What's
second.
up?
I
Yeah.
need to look at skills.
Yeah. Anything y'all want to do, we're all here for it.
I was so nice to y'all.
What is your
so nice?
What is your silhouette?
So what is the where is that on here, or is that just like, I think it's
It would have been with your species.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have that open. I was looking at it a second ago. 1 second. I don't have anything in athletics, so I don't want to try and jump. Well, it's actually not, because it's a whatchamacallit species. It's the complete guide. So I'm gonna. What's yours? What's a normal human? I think it's human shape.
Mine is 0, and
Okay, so
that might be because I'm small. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
fairly certain
human
your
is
silhouette
1.
is 1.
Yeah, it's whatever human is, because they're human shaped, sized.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because 1 is like human size, 2 is anything that like a human sized person could ride.
Okay. I'm gonna ask this now.
Yeah.
Okay. Lion.
Yeah.
At the end of the session, in theory, we would get 10 XP, which is what we've been getting.
Oh boy. Uh-huh.
May I use that 10 XP early to dump it into strength for my move power, force power? I can move myself in theory because I have a silhouette 0, but I would need more strength to move someone with a silhouette of 1.
So just to clarify, what you're asking me is if you can use power that you will have in the future to continue your forward voyage.
My argument here
Uh-huh.
is that Nu Tu is very tapped into her foreseeing power.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in a way, she is foreseeing her ability to be able to do this and is taking a chance at trying to do this now.
I mean, it's a good argument. Okay. I coached debate for like 3 years. It's a solid argument.
I'm gonna make you an offer.
Yes, please.
I love this. I'm gonna make you an offer. Okay. So I will allow you to do this on 2 conditions. One is we're going to flip a light side point to a dark side.
Okay.
2 is you are reaching into the future to draw power from yourself. Correct?
Yes. Correct.
At some point, you're going to have to pay that debt. If we have a deal, I'll let you do it.
I think Nu looks to Lumira. Is there any, like, just looking at you being like, is there a way we can make this across?
LC says, I don't know. I was going to jump and pray with agility. So consider, I have 2 propositions, Lion. One is I haven't spent any of my XP the whole series.
Mhm.
Can I lend 10 and then
You
Nu Ten
lend
can give me
10.
their 10?
You would like to
When
lend
after-
10, borrowing against
Yeah,
the
I would like to
future.
lend them my strength that
I'm
already
so
exists.
happy.
It's not
Oh,
future
this is
strength.
great. Uh-huh.
I can lend them my strength.
Just
now.
focused potential, really.
This is literally
Correct.
unregulated commodities trading.
Yeah, this is excellent. I'm so happy.
Just like Star Wars.
We would not approve of this.
And then when we get our 10 XP,
Mhm.
Katelynn can give me that one. So it's not using power that doesn't exist.
Okay.
Alternatively, can we combine our move? I also have move skill 1. So if Nu Ten gets on my back and we both like yeet,
Duo yeeting.
combine.
We both have basic move power skill.
So together.
Does 0 and 0 make 1?
No, 1 and 1 makes 2. We both can move small things, and together we are both short.
So here is what I'm going to say. Anyone who knows me knows that I am always a fan of the most interesting way forward. Always. And that I'll never miss an opportunity to torture my characters. Or my players.
Same.
So, I will allow you can do either. Either you can, not either of the ones that you presented, but I will allow you either you can borrow against the future, or if you want, Lumira, you can provide some of your own untapped potential to Nu now. But
that is one of the ones I presented.
That is one. I said not both of the ones you presented.
Oh, I thought you meant you can't do either of them.
No. You can absolutely do that.
Okay.
But you will be sharing a piece of yourself with Nu. And then Nu in return will be doing the same.
Oh, I think that's really cool.
I do too.
Hot.
What do you think? What do you think, Katelynn?
I think that makes sense.
Okay.
How do you transfer that to me? What do you do to?
I'm so excited.
It's like Nu is nervously looking across, knowing that she can get herself across. But
what force power were you?
I'm going to use move.
No, what were you going to use? Like which other one? Because I know you have insight.
So Force C is the one that I was saying I was going to kind of tap into. Because that's one of the ones where she has a decent amount of power in it. Okay. But she also has sense and bind. I could bind you to me.
No,
but I think the weight would still be too much.
It does not decrease the weight. Correct. Okay, so I think that it's like another, like, I'm just gonna go off the cuff here and it's write it off as a Star Wars thing because they just be doing stuff with the Force. And I think that it's just like a desperation of 2 people who are floundering already in their studies, trying to figure out who they are, what they're doing, Jedi versus dark side, like whatever conflicts they have, and that conflict kind of overlaps. And in this moment of like desperation, it just kind of auto connects them. I don't think that they're completely separated to begin with. And I think that shared plan of just like using foresight to get on Nu Ten's side across, and then a similar idea from Lumira, but like with Nu Ten on her back jumping across using move kind of combines itself into one idea, and it's a shared like aha light bulb moment of we do this plan, we do it in synchronicity. Is that a word? Synchronicity, synchronized, whatever.
Synchronicity. Yeah.
I was close. It becomes a synchronized idea that just kind of happens wordlessly. I don't think either of them have to communicate any of it, and it just like happens naturally. Like you move to get on my back and we run across and jump using move together. Because I think it's really cool in Star Wars when they do that kind of thing, when they're just like they just start fighting but they're like completely in sync, no words to be had about their techniques or anything, and I think that's really neat.
Yeah.
I love that.
Flavor it as you wish, Caitlin. It is also your scene.
No, I think that's right on. I think there's the big, like, nervous, big, glowing eyes looking at you, looking across, seeing the bridge fall, and then they kind of soften as that connection happens between the two of us, and we just both start running until leap on back, force tapping into my friend, and I think my little hands like squeeze your shoulders as we're making this leap of faith across. And Nu says the word Iata, which I don't know that you know, but she says that.
Probably not.
As you go across.
So now I have a question for each of you. Lumira, I would like you to share with Newton a memory of a time when you needed someone to rely on, but didn't have it and failed.
I think it was probably a time after my guardian and I split, and it was still learning to be on my own and like not having that person to turn around and ask a question to and have them be like, you don't have to always ask, you just have to feel it out, and even if you fall, you'll still succeed by learning something. I don't know if she really particularly likes that ideology. It's one that she abides by now because it's all she knows now. But every time she did do that, her guardian would be there to redirect her in a more efficient or knowledgeable way to get through and succeed. And without them there, having no one to actually turn to be like, what are my options? Like, am I doing what I need to be doing? Is this how I can best learn? Or best, you know, like, because even if you fail, sometimes you do it in a way that's really, really close to succeeding because someone like pointed you in that direction, but you're having no direction at all. And I think she just really, it was probably trying to swindle credits from something or something, not really having a job, finding a job, not knowing who to ask, or getting like, you know, bamboozled by a particularly like deceptive like street vendor, where like she lost all of her credits and was back to square one and was just really angry with herself. That memory of just like probably getting landed into jail. I think she has a really deep rooted like hate for just being incarcerated because it does remind her of all her failures, especially wrongly incarcerated. So it's probably that fall and pick yourself up kind of montage, I would say. I wouldn't know if it's a specific one instance, but it's a very similar set of montages of picking yourself back up and failing after failing, a la Captain Marvel, because I love that scene with all my heart.
Heck yeah. I love that. Nu, I would like you to also share one of these moments from your past.
Oh gosh. So I think for Nu, a time she needed someone to rely on but didn't have it. Was probably the first time when her force powers kind of lashed out. And in the Jawa clan that she's a part of, like, really the only force sensitive person is the mystic, the shaman who kind of stays, and that was her mother at some point. But she was not at the clans. Like, she was in the essentially mobile unit, going around and scavenging. And so I think this was at a point when her father had told her that she needed to keep it quiet because otherwise she might be sent to another clan completely to be their mystic. And so she had no one to turn to. Her father didn't understand what she was doing and wanted her to hide it. So she found this like small corner of their scavenging unit and basically found the engine room. I think that's where her comfort starts to lie, because she didn't have any people to rely on, but she had the engine room to hold her while she was exhibiting these first like visions of her foresee power in the Force. And so as she's experiencing these things, she doesn't know what they are. She hears the hum of the engine, and she wishes that someone could be there to understand her.
And so we watch as our two Jedi bound across this chasm, rising, the Force carrying them. And it is just about at their peak that we're going to close out today's episode. Thank you so much to this wonderful cast, to y'all for being here. Thank you to our great chat for being here and keeping things alive. So for now, why don't we go around, let everyone know who you are, where they can find you, all the cool stuff you're up to. And I'm just gonna randomly pick to start. Let's say Cass.
Me. Hello. I am Cass, better known as Yoda or Yoda Almighty. You can find me on Blue Sky under Yoda Almighty. And then let's see. This Thursday, you will find me over on Entropy Emporium, playing God Complex, which is our Girl by Moonlight campaign. We are piloting the husks of dead gods to as little Gundam mechs to kill interdimensional space kaiju. It's a great time. Actual cannibal Troy and Mott right here. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I eat people. And I don't get in trouble for it.
Yeah,
not really. Anyway, and then on alternating Thursdays to that, you will find me over on Live from the Apocalypse playing JD's game. Redacted is a horror game powered by the apocalypse. We are all full of ghosts. Some of us are no longer ghost apartments. We are now ghost duplexes. It's David Lynch's not 24 now, but 72. There's some Cronenberg vibes now. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. There's a conspiracy, and we're gonna figure out what's going on this island. And then, of course, I will be back here in 2 weeks, and I've got some ideas for things coming up. So if those go forward, then you will hear about them. But we'll see.
Shite. Pick someone.
Oh, shite. I don't like Elsie right now, so Kate.
Oh, hey everybody. I'm Kate.
That's a lie. I love Elsie.
That's why. There we go. Hey everybody, I'm Caitlin. I played New Tin, the one who got in between our two enemies, lovers, both, neither. Who knows at this point? And very glad to be here. You can find me at Kenny Plays on the socials, and here every 2 weeks or so. And in the coming new year, I will be back in a Fallout campaign again, resurrected. So I'll have more info in the new year. But yeah, so glad to be here and play with y'all. I'm going to hand it over to Elsie.
It's my turn. Hi, I am Katelynn. You can find me at KKennyPlays because I want to continue the bit because it's funny.
Perfect. Thank you.
If you don't understand the bit, go back and watch the last episode where the whole Jedi table was together. It was great. Anyways, hi, I'm Elsie. You can find me at Optimistics on all social media. It's somewhere here. I think it's in the chat. I can't spell, so I'm not going to spell it. I play Lumira Sol today. You can find me every other alternating Tuesday. I think we're back on the 7th, where you thought the holidays are over. They're not. With our holiday episode of They Call Us Villains. I can remember the name of my own show. I am feeling great in that show. Finally, I'm not dying. ? I don't know. I'm always dying. We are also on day 3/4. I don't know, but somehow we made it there faster than Redacted. We love you, JD, so much. I'm really excited for that one. And other than that, you can find me on alternating Saturdays to this one, or every 2 weeks, whatever. Yeah, that's still alternating.
Yeah, you got it. You were right.
I was right.
Yeah.
and here. And then I have a couple of new things that are in the works for 2025. I'm really excited to be playing these characters, sharing maybe a table with somebody here. We don't know. It's not Cass. I can only do one table with Cass at a time because our energy is too feral. Hopefully,
the
I
irony of my internet
again.
coming and going while you said that, and I'm like,
I saw
what did
that.
I do?
So what I'm hearing is I need to lock you both down on a table for the next 3 years. Got it.
I will get shot in the leg because she won't let me kiss my significant
Or the
other.
head? I did shoot you in the head that one time.
I did, but that wasn't because I was trying to kiss someone.
I will say you weren't trying to kiss me, and I was mad about it. So yeah.
That's been done. Check that off the list here. I can kiss someone else now. Anyways, I'm taking up everybody's time. Throw it over to Lion. It's been real.
At first, I wasn't sure if that was a comma or a period at first, and I'm glad I waited.
Who knows with me?
Fair. Hey, y'all, it's Drake Lionheart. Most people call me Lion. I am the studio director. I'm not allowed to say creative director anymore. I get yelled at now. I'm the studio director for Tales from the Table Studios. You can find me at it's Drake Lionheart pretty much everywhere on the internet, except on Twitter where it's still LionKnight42, but don't go follow me there because I don't really post there anymore because it's a trash fire and we'll all be luckier when it dies. You can also find me at TFTT Studios on pretty much all socials. I'm not always the one behind it, but you can always find out stuff that's going on there. You can find me here at Tales from the Table Studios on Twitch and over on our YouTube, which is mostly an archive, but we are hoping that in 2025 we'll get back to having some original interviews with Roll for Perspective again, so keep an eye out for that. I'll have more information hopefully in the coming months as we get into the beginning of 2025. We've been hard at work on a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I don't have anything else I can talk about right now, but we do have some really exciting stuff coming in the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, I am also a game designer. I'm a writer. You can hire me to write stuff for you or to run games for you, all the fun things. So yeah, it's great stuff. But more importantly than any of that, if you like these people and you want to see all the stuff they're doing and you want to support them, or you want to say hi and you want to hang out in a great community, we have a Discord server where you can do just that. We have a great page set up where you can see all of the things that they're currently doing and their socials, so you can go follow them, provide support, see all the cool things, and tell them how amazing they are all the time because they deserve to hear it all the time. We also have a great community of creatives, players, writers, everything under the sun, and you should come say hi because they're amazing people and we would love to have you there. We're working on getting some community events going early 2025. We may have a movie event coming up soon for movie night because who doesn't love movie night? We'll talk more about that as soon as we can. I'm just waiting on confirmation on a thing and then we're going to move forward from there. I will have more stuff to talk about next week. I'll finally be able to make an announcement next week, which is super hype. I'm also going to be dealing with some more projects and we'll find out more about those as we go. But I think that is pretty much it for me, and I know we are on a time crunch. So, until next time, Remember, eat enough food, drink enough water, take care of yourself, love yourself, do the things you gotta do because you gotta do them. Have great holidays, and always remember to tell your tales. Love you, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.